Mr. Sandman, bring me a dream.
Hey everybody, welcome to the show. I'm your host Sandman. Today I'm going to be picking a Mul-T-Lock interactive Mogul cylinder. Let's get into it. So what is a Mogul cylinder? What am I saying? That's spelled M-O-G-U-L, Mogul. So it's essentially just a institutional lock. So this could be something that may be found in prisons. It may be found in hospitals, government facilities, military installations, and so on and so forth. Anything that's institutional. And so institutional meaning it's going to probably have some type of government funding, and there's going to be thousands of these in place, and they're all going to be, keyed or master keyed. This one doesn't have any wafers, so it's not master keyed, but it also is where security is very important. This is a little bit larger than an actual mortise cylinder. So here's a Mul-T-Lock mortise cylinder next to the prison Mogul cylinder, and the Mogul cylinder is more than twice the size. It is super heavy, super durable. I mean, this thing is just designed to take a beating, and it is definitely a high security lock. So Mul-T-Lock are manufactured in Israel. This particular lock is very unique in the sense that not only is it a Mul-T-Lock, Israeli made Mul-T-Lock institutional cylinder, a Mogul cylinder, but it is a particular handing. So this is a Mul-T-Lock left. So this fits in a left-handed warding here. So this is considered a left-handed warding cylinder. Why does that matter? Well, as it was told to me by the manufacturer of data tools, the left-handed warding cylinders from Mul-T-Lock are not common in North America. These are only common in Europe. In America, we typically are going to only see right-handed warding. And you know what? All my other Mul-T-Locks are just like that. You'll see the pin stack on the right side facing down and not the left side. So this particular pin stack is on the left, and let's see if I can actually show you guys that there. So the pin stack is on the left there, and that is what makes this particular lock unique. So not only did this lock travel all the way from Europe, not just from Israel, but from Europe, but it traveled from an institutional facility in Europe to make its way in California. I purchased this lock in 2012 from a locksmith that I was visiting on a daily basis while I was waiting to deploy to Afghanistan as a private security contractor. I was staying in Oceanside, California for a couple weeks waiting for my deployment, and I would go visit a locksmith every day, and we would just talk locks. And he loved that I worked for the military, and at the time I was working for the Department of Defense, and he felt super comfortable just talking to me. I think he was prior military as well. And he's like, I got this strange lock. He goes, how would you like to buy it for $200? And I did. And I've never seen another collector in North America have a Mul-T-Lock Mogul cylinder. Never seen it. Not a single person in North America that I'm aware of has one of these, because the guys that have huge collections where they collect 6 or 12 of the different brands, Southern Steel, Adams Rite, and all these other ones, they have told me they've never seen a Mul-T-Lock one. So it also comes with a working key. Here we do see the pin stack is on the left side of that key. That makes this a left-handed warding here. So key is fully operational. Everything about this works. We're going to attempt to pick this thing in about 3 different ways. We're going to get kind of goofy with this. And let me show you what I have planned here. So there's only one way to get into it, but we're going to use a couple different tools here to display the different methods. Now, it's currently in its current configuration. This is the original pins from when I purchased it. So that means the driver pins are all spooled. All of the inner driver pins are all spooled except for one is like standard. All of the outer key pins are standard, but 2 of them have counter milling, and all of the inner key pins are spooled. What does all that mean? Well, there's 20 pins inside this thing, essentially, 10 on top and 10 on bottom, and it's pin-in-pin technology, and they're telescoping. And we're going to attack this a few different ways. The first method we're going to attack this with is I'm going to show you guys how to pick Mul-T-Lock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a Mul-T-Lock dimple flag, the largest one that I can find and the smallest one I can find. I want the largest one. I like the one with the curve here because I got to lift these key pins up really far. And I'm going to use that for setting the outer pins first. And then I'm going to, once I'm in a false set, I'm going to use this little one to start poking at the inner pins, which is going to help me further set the outer driver pins to the shear line. We'll talk about it as we get to it. If that's successful, I'm then going to attempt to pick the lock a second time using a flag only found on the rotary tools from Data Tools. So this has a large outer flag and a smaller inner flag. This is actually my favorite tool to use, but this is not something you can just buy from Multipick. You can't buy this anywhere in the world. You have to buy these flags specifically from Wind in Germany, and you know they're not inexpensive. They're definitely an investment, and then you have to modify them to fit whatever dimple pick handle you have. And if that's successful, then I'm going to go ahead and show you how I pick it using a rotary tool, and we're going to get a full 360-degree rotation out of that plug using the rotary tool. So why not? So let's go ahead and get into this. I'm going to be not using a dimple lock turning tool here. I'm just going to use a regular turning tool. That way I can get the most room out of my keyway here. Another thing that I have to be aware of when I'm picking this dimple lock, because I do have mushroom and spool pins, since my pins are on the left side of my keyway and I'm picking upwards in a clockwise rotation, I cannot successfully pick this lock while rotating the plug clockwise. What that's going to do is it's going to bind very heavily on those driver pins. If it can be done, I haven't been able to do it. So instead I have to pick this lock counterclockwise, the opposite direction of which I'm going to be picking, lifting the pins. I want my turning tool to be lifting against the direction that I'm going to be lifting my pins. For some reason, that just seems to work. That's a technique I learned from Lockpicking Lawyer. So without further ado, let's get into it. So we're actually going to start off with the conventional method, which is using normal dimple pick profiles here. So let's see here. I'm going to try to see if I can get to the back, squeeze to the back here, and start at pin 5. So just push to the back, feel the wall, pull forward, and you'll feel that pin. A lot of movement out of 5, but it is not wanting to set. Let's go to pin 4. Pin 4 is not wanting to set either. Hang on. There we go. We got to click out of 4. Let's go back to pin 5, see if we can what we can do with 5. Got a little click out of 5. I'm happy with that. Let's go to pin 3. Sometimes to find pin 3, I can just start at 1, go to 2, go to 3. Let's lift on pin 3, see what we can get. Nothing there. Let's go to pin 2. Nothing there. Go to pin 1. Nothing. All right, let's go back to pin 5. Go back to pin 4. Pin 3. I'm just making very small movements here on these pins, just kind of inching them up with this particular flag. Not getting a whole lot of progress, but we're biding our time and I'm getting some movement. So I'm just trying to set those outer pins. Back on pin 4. Now the amount of resistance I'm going to feel from these pins is going to be equal to the amount of resistance that I'm applying to my turning tool. If it's too hard to lift these pins, I got to back off on that turning tool. Simple as that. Okay, now I got movement on pin 5. Once I finally let off a little bit on that turning tool there. Okay, got a little bit of movement out of 4 just by trying to pull that pick out. Let's go to 3. Got counter rotation on 3. I click out of 3. Go to 2. I'm in a false set. I'm not a deep false set yet. I got some movement out of 2 there. See if we can get some more out of 2. Yeah, there you go. Got something out of 2. Let's go to 1. Okay, I'm in a false set here. Let's see if I can set 1 a little bit further if it needs it. Okay, I think 1 outer pin, maybe set. Oh, I just dropped something. Let's check number 2. Oh, nothing on 2. Let's go 3. Nothing on 3. Go to 4. Nothing on 4. Let's go to 5. Okay, nothing on 5. Something dropped and I'm out of my false set. So let's see what that is. There we go, it was 2. So I'm back in that false set there. Let's see what we can do with 1. Okay, 1 is set. 2 is not ready. Let's try 3. Okay, 3 is set. 4 is set. I'm on 5. 5 is being ornery. Okay, 5 is set. So let's check 1 and 2 again. I think 1 is good. 2 is good. 3 needs to be set. There we go. Look at that. So now we're in our deep false set. We got a lot of movement in that plug there. I'm sorry I didn't articulate what I did there at the last, but I was really just messing around between pin 3 and pin 2, trying to get something to set there. So now I'm in that deep false set. That's exactly what I want to look for. And now all I need to do is go through and I need to inspect those inner pins. And I'm using the inner pins of the key pins to push up, and that'll help me get out of this deep false set, because those inner pins are actually going to touch the outer pin of my drivers. So let's give this a try. So now I'm switching to a smaller tool. So I did have the largest dimple pick for Multipick for setting the outer pins, intentionally using the largest one because I didn't want to mess around with those inner pins. Now I'm using a tool that is really only going to do me any good against those inner pins here. And this is the smallest one that I can find. And that's going to be able to fit perfectly inside of those outer pins. So let's go hunting for some inner pins. Okay, I think pin 1 is good. Pin 2 seems okay. Gonna click out of 3. We're just listening for little clicks. Let's go to pin 4. It's not letting me go to pin 4. I was too far over to the left here. We gotta get back over to the right. Let's go all the way back and start at pin 5. Nothing on 5. Go to 4. Go to 3. Nothing on 3. Nothing on 2. Okay. I think pin 1's okay. Let's go to pin 2. Okay, I think 2 is okay. Let's go to 3. Three is okay. Let's go to 4. There we go. We got an open. So it was pin 4. All right. So I don't want to rotate this all the way because I don't want those inner driver pins to drop into this keyway here. It is possible to pick this in the field using just a pick. You just want to take a tool and you want to fill that up here and do that. But I'm not going to risk doing that because I want to pick this a few more times here and then we'll gut it. So that's about as far as I want to go there. All right, I got to lock back up again. Let's go ahead and take that key. Get a full rotation of that key. There we go. All right, so that was method number 1, where we're using conventional tools. Let's go ahead and jump into method number 2, where I'm going to use my, what I consider my high security dimple pick, you know, and all it is just my rotary tool, but I purchased extra picks and I modified it to fit my multi-pick handle here. So same technique with tensioning. This thing is a little bit larger, so you may see me get stuck in this guy, but I do prefer using this particular tool. It's just 2 tools in one. That's all it is. So let's give this a try. Also, I think it should be worth noting, when I go to set an outer pin, I don't want to place this right in the middle of that key pin. I want to place this kind of on the side, so that way I'm not touching that inner pin there. So that's one thing that I'm kind of doing intentionally. So pin 1, actually, you know what? Let's just go ahead and just shoot for the back of the lock, because pin 4 is such a low setting pin there. I may have trouble getting around that to get to pin 5. So we're going to try to set pin 5 first. I think I got something out of 5. Okay, that's what we're looking for out of 5. There we go. We got to click out of 5. Good, we're past 5. We're on 4. There we go. Now we're on 4. Good, got to click out of 4. That was good. Let's see here. Yep. 4 is just such a low pin that it really likes to get these longer tools stuck. That's why these are not optimum for every lock, but I really do love using it. So now I'm going to false set on 4. So 4 is good. Let's go to 3. Good. False set on 3. Let's go to 2. I had to back up to 1 to make sure I was on 2. Two is not ready yet. I'm making sure I'm on 2, yeah. So I'm going to skip 2. Let's go to 1. Okay. 1 outer pin is set. And that, I think it's just set. I don't know if I'm in a false set or not. I don't know. 1 gives me a lot of weird feedback. I think that may be one of the mushroom spools. Let's try number 2. Okay, got to click out of 2. So something is not set yet. We're looking for that deep false set. Checking everything. I think something may be overset. Oh, and I'm in that deep false set. Okay, here we go. So that was pin number 1. And now all we have to do is just go touch all the inner pins with this guy. And let's go. And I don't know if you guys noticed, but this pick is just a little bit quicker. Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily more effective, but it does seem a little bit quicker. I think the leverage is just a little bit different. You know, it just feels different against the pins. You know, I don't have to use so much hand strength to try to get things going. There we go, and we got it picked. All right, this guy is picked. All right, so we lock that back up. Let's go ahead and put a rotation in that key. Good. Now then, I'm going to back this camera up a bit, and then we're going to use this rotary tool here. I'm going to show you guys how fun this rotary tool is and how easy it makes this thing. Maybe I'll adjust this guy. That way you can see more of what's actually happening in the rotary tool. I'm going to rotate it towards the camera like that. And so you can see what I feel and see what I see. listen. Yeah, what is the saying? Like, listen, don't listen to his eyes. Look at the words coming out of my mouth. I don't remember what that was from. It was like 21 Jump Street or something. All right, here we go. Again, I cannot rotate in the direction that I'm picking. This is going to be picking clockwise, so I have to rotate counterclockwise. It's just more beneficial. I guess I don't have to, but man, I don't have any good luck doing it. I don't know anybody doing it. All right, here we go. So we're going counterclockwise with our counter rotation, or excuse me, our turning force. And now we're going clockwise with the tool. Look at that. We're already on pin 5. All I did was touch it, and I believe pin 5 is set. So I'm just going to go here and move to 4. I click out of 4. That's great. I think 4 is in a false set anyways. Got a false set out of 3. Got a false set out of 2. Man, I'm almost in my deep false set here. Okay. Got a set out of 1. I don't think that's the deep false set we're looking for, though. Looking for the edge of that key pin here. Nothing. Let's go back through and look. Maybe it's 2. Yep, 2 is now set. So something is not set. Oh, maybe it's still 2. What's going on with 2? I don't know. Let's go 3. 3 is good. 4 is good. 5 is good. Let's go 3 again. Go 2 again. Let's go back to 1. It's 1. Yeah, I just felt 1 move. Okay, now we're in our deep false set. Look at that. I love how easy these rotary tools make lock picking. People are like, oh, it's cheating. Well, if this is for sport, I guess, yeah, it's cheating. But if this is for profession, this is the way to go. Now then, I will say this, that the first time that I got this rotary tool, it took me 3 hours to be able to get my first open. So it's not automatic. It doesn't pick the lock for you. You still have to know how to pick a lock, but it gives you more control. I know that I'm in my false set. Now all I got to do is just check all these pins. I got this lock picked. You know, it just doesn't know it yet. So let's check number 1. We're going to listen for what we're doing is we're touching those inner key pins, and we're looking to use those inner key pins to lift the driver pins out of our false set. So nothing on 1, nothing on 2, nothing on 3, nothing on 4, and we got it on 5. Let's get a full rotation. Boom. All right, let's gut this thing. Some of you guys know I'm not completely full of shit. Very happy with that. You have to pardon me. I'm working on an ASA V10 over here, and I'm going to have to share some space. This is just a purple belt lock. I already have my brown belt, and I already have 1 black belt lock picked. So, you know, I don't really care about getting this thing to perfection, but I'm going to do my best so that way you guys can get a good glimpse of what's in here. Yeah. So what's unique to this lock is that it has this machine screw that goes to the top of the Bible of the lock, and all I have to do is just unscrew it to back it out to remove those top pins. And I think that's what we'll do, just 1 pin at a time. Makes it a really safe way of gutting this lock. And then once I get out just enough to grab it with my fingers, I can just go with my fingers the rest of the way. so we'll get that freed up. Let's go ahead and start dumping out pin stack number 1. Let me remove these guys over here. Okay. All right, so this is driver pin number 1. As you can see, it's a mushroom spool with an inner spool. Okay. Actually, you know what? We are going to pull out the plug, I think. And now we can just cut it that way. The inner pin's going to fall out first when we go like this. All right, so there's the inner pin of the key pin. And there's our first key pin. And it's just a standard key pin. There's no counter milling in that one. I will show the plug and the core once everything is out. Okay, there's driver number 2, spool with a standard inner. And that's the only standard inner pin that I have in the whole lock. Okay, and there's inner pin number 2, and that is spooled. And we got spring number 3. Here's driver number 3. Can you see it? No, you can't. The problem with gutting this way when you're trying to like do for belt certification, which this video is not, because I already have this belt, the problem is it's really hard to show the pin states this way, but I also hate gutting this lock because it's just an accident waiting to happen. Just not a fan of it. I hate gutting altogether, but these high security locks, it's important for some people that may not know or may doubt. So this is a mushroom spool with an inner spool. And let's get that key pin out. So here's the inner key pin. It's spooled. And then we have the key pin. There we go. Okay, 2 more pin stacks. I'm sorry this is taking so long. That guy just fell out on its own. You'll have to trust me on it, folks. Yep. There we go. Sorry this is taking so long. I'm the slowest at gutting in the world. And we lost a spring there. There we go. Pull this guy out all the way. Look at that. Came out together. I love that. So this is how that works. Let's talk about that for a second. I hope that you guys can see that. So that's the inner key pin. The inner key pin cannot fall all the way through. It's telescoping. But the inner key pin does lift up. And if I lift up enough, I'm going to expose the spool of that inner key pin. And we'll zoom in here in a second. All right, let's go ahead and take apart this plug here so we can inspect that. I wanted to show you guys what that looks like. I'm sorry, this whole thing is not focused. I apologize. What are we, 2 hours into this video? 2 hours? Just kidding. There we go. This is the plug. So we have an anti-drill pin right there. Sorry, this is not coming out right. Hang on one second. Man, I don't know why my phone will not focus today. This is terrible. Man, that's the best I'm gonna get. That sucks. Well, I'll do my best. So no counter milling in that plug there. Here's the core. Let's take a look at these pins. I wish my phone would focus. These iPhone 15s are garbage. I'm not happy with it. Well, let's talk about it. So we have a mushroom spool here. We have a regular spool, mushroom spool, regular spool, regular spool. All of these have spool pins on the inside except for number 2. So let's take a look at number 1. I cannot remove that particular inner pin, and it is not coming in. I can't get this thing to focus. All right, guys, you just have to trust me on it that there's a spool there. And all these inner pins are spools. All of these are standard key pins except for 4 and 5. They are counter milled. And because my phone will not focus, thank God this is not a belt test. You hear that click pop? That's that it's essentially just hitting. This is ridiculous. I don't know why it won't focus. All right, guys, I guess I'll just have to end the video because my phone's a piece of shit and I picked one of the hardest locks in the world. Just kidding, it's just a purple belt, but that one's milled too, and that's it. Man, that's so sad. I hate this phone. we are limited to our tools, unfortunately. That's all I have for today, folks. Let me know in the comments down below. Is this helpful? How do you like to pick multi-lock tools? You know, I know that lockpicking lawyer can actually pick these with just a lifter hook, and maybe I'll try doing that next. But I really love that I found 3 different tools, same method, honestly. They're all the same method, but I love that I found 3 different tools for entry, 3 different sets of tools. So it makes me more knowledgeable of the lock itself, makes me more versatile. Of all of these, I think the rotary tool makes it the easiest. And I think method number 2 with the modified tool, I think that was definitely second easiest. This is a hard lock to pick if you're using regular tools. You know, I don't think that it's cheating. I think the object of the game is to rotate that plug and get this thing compromised. So let me know in the comments down below what your thoughts are. Is there another method I'm not aware of? I'd love to hear from you. Catch you guys next time.
Mr. Sandman, bring us, please, please.